Hello, everybody. Bruce Morgan here with the Bruce Morgan Show. This is episode 0. Again, it might be the first, it might be the last. We just don't know. Today, we are looking at part 3 of a series. I originally started calling this There's Something About David. We're talking about David S. Gingras, Esquire, lawyer for Laura Owens, the petitioner in the Clayton Echard paternity scandal, with Clayton Echard as the respondent. And we've been going through his tweets on X or Twitter. Now, there's a lot of tweets to get through, so we may have to do a part 4 after this, because I don't think we're going to get through all of it, but we're going to do our best. Now, we're joined today by Dr. Nibbler. Dr. Nibbler is a cat with a scuba snorkeling outfit on, with a nice bow in her hair. So that's how we're going to start this off. Let's go get onto Twitter and pick up where we left off last time. We are back on October 7th. Today, as I'm filming this, it is Saturday, October 12th. The Badgers won their football game. It's a nice day out. I painted my shed a little bit today, so I'm taking a break and making this video. We're going to read some tweets and talk about it, have some commentary, and see what we can do. See what we can learn. David says, here's an unusual, I think he means unusual. Here's an unusual comment for me. I had a pleasant and professional conversation today with Omar Serrato. And of course, that's the Tilted Lawyer over on the Tilted Lawyer channel on YouTube. He asked questions. I answered most as best I could. We were cordial, zero threats. This is how I wish the dialogue could be. Read Laura Owens. Well, we're cordial here. You know, I worked with somebody once who, if you talk to them in person, in a conference room, in the hallway, on the phone, they were perfectly reasonable, very cordial. I had a great time working with them. The minute they sent emails or replied to emails, though, they were sort of very antagonistic or judgmental or got fired up real easy. They just had a bad tone in the emails. And so I would just tell people, you know, you just got to work with this person in person and not do the email thing. Now, of course, our problem here is, we're just sort of watching a court case, and this lawyer here is tweeting on Twitter, which is a written form of communication. So we don't really have a choice if he has sort of the same written style, which is sort of a negative style. We just have to deal with it. Maybe something he can work on. I don't know, guys. Let's check out some of the comments. If I can find my mouse. Oh, Justice for Clayton says, may I have a copy of the appeal, please? And he says no, which is fine. JusticeForClayton.com says, thank you for a quick response. Have a great night. Flux says, dumbass. I don't. Of course, this being a riff on the Reality Steve podcast where Steve called Laura a dumbass. Mess says, weird because the tweet directly below this is combative, antagonistic, and insults everyone who doesn't believe what you do. It's fair. This also happened after you sent Omar an insult-laden email where you make a juvenile Clayton's your boyfriend comment. That's also pretty true. So much BS. Yeah, and Omar did a stream where he went through all of the emails on both sides, so you can go listen to that and judge for yourself whether you think one side, both sides, or neither side were combative, antagonistic, and insulting. Everybody can decide for themselves. You Weren't Prego says, the account with that tweet is a parody account. Shush, don't tell David. Okay, so I guess there was a deleted tweet or a blocked tweet or something here from a parody account. Lady K says, thank you for saying my exact thoughts. It's so junior high-like. Okay. Loud Little Ducky says, I asked you a civil question the other day. I, of course, have my views on things with your client, but I'm also interested in productive conversations. Very good. Loud Little Ducky's been covering the case on YouTube. Go check that out. Jess says, but you ignore and don't reply when it doesn't suit you, David. Yeah, I've seen plenty of questions here on Twitter where he will selectively answer some questions, but not others. Maybe he just doesn't have time, but it's a little suspicious how he's sort of selectively deciding what to answer. Let's see. Tanya Twinklestar says, I'm wondering if you are going to acknowledge the numerous internet archives that prove Laura posted a different, edited, aka lying, photo on her Medium article and then deleted it. And then Mess says he will never, ever do this. Yeah, and the thing I saw was you can go find a court filing, an affidavit from the petitioner side that has a photo in it. Let's call it photo A. And you can go to medium.com and find a blog and then take that blog and put it into a web archive site or a Wayback Machine site. And you can see earlier revisions of that blog had another photo, photo B, which is very similar to photo A, except potentially there has been, maybe there's Photoshop filters or whatever, editing of the photo. And you can actually go see these things, and they are there. And that photo in the Wayback Machine is on a Medium blog post that is under her byline with her name. So regardless of the semantics in terms of, if somebody edited a photo, or maybe Laura has a social media intern named Anton, and Anton transcribed her notes and posted the Medium blog and posted the photo, it's under her name in the byline. And to me, that's the interesting thing, is that there's this photo A over here in a court filing, photo B, that comes from her byline on Medium, a third-party company, viewable with the Wayback Machine or Web Archive or whatever it is, other third-party companies, and you can just go see these things. And he's just saying, like, no, she never did that. Like, it's literally there. Like, you can't get angry at people for saying, hey, I see something. Here's how you can also go see it. Can you explain it? And then they're like, no, it's just wrong. Like, what? I don't know. It's a little strange. It's a little strange, guys. Let's see. Where's my mouse? I always lose it. It's over here. Yay. Okay, so we saw that. Let's go down. Kitty Kitty Meow Meow says, seriously, can't wait to hear Omar's talk on it. I'm sure it will be a nanosecond before you start talking poop emojis again. Oh, dear. Well, we don't want anybody talking poop emojis. Now, let's see. I think Omar did talk about this with both his own videos and as a guest on Megan Fox's channel. It sounds like this appeal is going to be very heavily directed at procedural rules related to when somebody can withdraw from the family court case, and whether the procedural rules that allowed the family court case to proceed into fees and sanctions and then have a hearing on the fees and sanctions was legitimate process or not. So I think they will argue that in the appeal, and we'll see how it goes. Let's see. Mess says, Omar was very, very diplomatic about it. I agree. He said that David talks a lot, so he wasn't able to say much. Well, that's interesting. He wouldn't really comment more than that. I would expect nothing less from the guy. He's an actual professional. Well, yeah, I mean, Omar has his own law firm. He has a podcast. He's a busy guy. He's cooking mac and cheese. Yeah. The other thing is, here's the thing, guys. When someone says, okay, so if this guy talked a lot on the phone or whatever, sometimes you have to talk a lot on the phone with somebody else in order to answer a question or whatever, but I try to follow this rule when I'm talking to other people. You have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Use them in at least that ratio. So you should probably, if you're in a meeting with multiple people, you should be listening twice as often as you're talking. Maybe if you're only meeting with one person, maybe you can be fairly even. But in any case, I try to do that because we're not going to get anywhere unless we listen to each other and unless we provide good evidence during the time when we do talk and use a good economy of words. Okay? So that's my advice. You have 2 ears, 1 mouth. Use them in roughly that ratio. Let's see. What else do we have? Good on both of you. Okay. Mel MC says, I assume you meant unusual, but it should not be unusual. Omar is perfectly calm and rational. You are the one who was very ugly and unprofessional in your responses to him. You could do far worse than talking to someone like him about this case. And again, you can go listen to Omar read through all the email correspondence and decide for yourself if anybody was ugly and unprofessional or not. Mel MC says, and why would Omar threaten you? I can totally see the reverse because that is what you do, but why would he threaten you? That doesn't even remotely track. Yeah, I agree. Let's see. Princess Forever says, can you confirm whose baby she was pregnant with in the images you referred to? Interesting question. She and Clayton didn't have sex, so they're not his. Well, here's the thing. I mean, there can be, I I don't know, guys. It's not a salad bar. There's no splash screen. You can get the turkey baster out. I mean, things can happen. The problem is, if you want to prove that, you need to do a DNA paternity test. And of course, the DNA paternity test in this case, the ones where we received results, said little to no fetal DNA, which is very strange because my understanding is that even in a miscarriage, the mother will have fetal DNA detectable via tests in the bloodstream well past giving birth or having a miscarriage. And we still had results, little to no fetal DNA. Why is that? There's no good explanation for that. Also, who would have advised her not to seek medical care during her high-risk twin pregnancy? Litigation should be sought against them. Well, I don't think anybody told her not to seek medical care. I just think she doesn't have any evidence of a consistent OBGYN or consistent provider-supplied ultrasounds, fetal heartbeat monitoring, or anything like that. Now, you can argue that it's unreasonable to not have those things in a high-risk pregnancy, whether it's high risk because of twins or high risk because of epilepsy or both. It does seem unreasonable not to seek that care. Now, of course, if somebody gets pregnant and they want to go live in the woods and have sort of this feral pregnancy where they don't ever talk to an OBGYN or get ultrasounds or anything, and they end up with a baby in the woods, that's their prerogative. The problem here is that this petitioner took the respondent to court and said, hey, state of Arizona, make this person, the respondent, do things. And to me, that is when the bar rises to the point where you need to have much better evidence of your claims in terms of pregnancy and paternity. And that evidence just did not appear in this case. Now, that's where I am. That's my take. You Weren't Prego says, also, what happened to the products of conception in that pregnancy? Simple question that Dingus can't seem to answer. Yeah, if you had an early miscarriage, where is the remaining fetal DNA? If you had an early miscarriage, were the results of that miscarriage reviewed by a pathologist? If you had a very late-term miscarriage, you would have some fetal death certificates, presumably, or you'd be in violation of Arizona law, to my understanding. So where are all these products? We just don't have them. That's what this case is really about. It's about a lack of evidence. It's not about arguing about the evidence we have. It's about the fact that there is a huge lack of evidence to believe claims, in my opinion. Okay. What else do we have here? Simone says, weird because you love threatening others. You have contributed to a non-cordial atmosphere. I agree with that. I like this wording. Simone is, this is great wording. A non-cordial atmosphere. It's a very polite way to put it. Look within. Yeah. I mean, if you're a perfectly reasonable person while talking to someone in person or on the phone, and you can't seem to do that when you write on Twitter, why? Be better. Get some help. Get some therapy. I don't know, something, anything. Please. Camilla says, no, please keep the sassy posts coming. Oh boy. And do not give in. Okay. I don't think he's going to. I believe Laura was carrying Jesus and Jessica Christ. Oh no. Jessica? I feel like Jessica might be an anachronism for this naming convention. But the world was not ready. Yeah, I certainly was not ready for Jesus and Jessica. I agree with that. The cult will never win against our queen. Protect her. Oh, Camilla. Never change. Nick Vial's ego. Parody account. This is hilarious. Now, look, guys, these things are hilarious. But I have to say, once again, I do not recommend directly interacting with this lawyer. He is a lawyer for the petitioner. Do not directly interact with the petitioner, the respondent, the counsel for the petitioner, the counsel for the respondent. We need to observe and not interfere. Just pretend David S. Gingras is an endangered sloth, and we don't want to interact. We just get our binoculars out and observe from a distance as he does what he does. Nick Vial's ego parody account says, wait, was this because you parted ways with Laura since she clearly lied to you? Oh, dear. No response. Well, she definitely seems to have lied under oath across multiple court cases, which seems very suspicious to me, in my opinion. Savannah Whitehurst says that must have been a first for you, not threatening someone. Wow. Spicy, guys. Keeping it spicy. Okay. So that's the post about Omar. Let's move it along. What do we got next? We're going to go for an hour or less. And then if we have to do more, there's going to be more. We'll go to part 4. It'll be fine. Court on X. Folks, I have proof Laura did not lie about the photo in her Medium article. Interesting. Well, I mean, what does that mean? She didn't lie about what? I mean, the only thing people are saying is that, hey, there's a photo A over here that looks a certain way. There's a photo B over here that appears to be the same photo, but edited. And it's in the Medium article in the Wayback Machine. Why are there 2 different versions of this photo? And the response seemed to be like, she never did that, or she never put that in the Medium blog. But of course it's there. I don't know. In any case, he says, folks, I have proof. Laura did not lie about the photo. Well, good. Give us the proof. I am so excited to see the proof. I'd normally post that here. So he has the proof, but he's not going to post it. But maybe it's time for a different approach. What a tease. It's Saturday afternoon. It's the weekend. All we want to do is have a beer and look at this amazing proof that he has. And he's not going to post it here. I'm a little disappointed, guys. Why not take this to court? Well, why take it if you if you have proof that this photo was never on medium.com with her byline under it, why don't you just post it? You don't need a court. Like, what good is a court going to do? We're not arguing anything. We're just saying, hey, there's photo A over here in your court document. There's similar but edited photo B over here in the Wayback Machine for medium.com. What do you think about this? And his response was like, oh, that never happened. I don't know. This is strange, guys. Debates on X aren't helping. Well, yeah, they're not helping because you didn't post the proof. You know what would help is posting the proof. Maybe a jury can help clear this issue up. How? How is a jury going to help clear the issue up? There's a photo in a filing and a photo in the Wayback Machine on Medium. I feel like a broken record. That's just what we see. That's what we have. If you have something else for us to see, show it to us. A jury cannot help you. Good idea, question mark? No, it's not. Ready, Dave? What does Dave have to do with this? This doesn't make any sense. I don't know what he's trying to prove here. I mean, he says he has proof and he won't give it to us. He's a tease. He's edging us. He's a tease on a Saturday night. What a troublemaker. Just Jen says, you said that she, oh geez. Jen, you said that she did not post it. Sally sells seashells by the seashore. We proved that she did post it. She lied. Okay, let's see. What do we got? And then Jen has the original tweets. Let's check that out. Thank you, Jen. I just asked Laura if she ever posted that version on the right. Her response, 1,000,000% BS. Well, here's the thing. The picture on the right, or image B, is in the Wayback Machine on medium.com. It's there under her byline. Now, maybe she had a social media intern, Anton, and Anton like transcribed her notes and typed it in and put it on Medium and put the photo there and then put her name in the byline. That's just nitpicking semantics. There's a photo there in an article with her byline, blog entry. Okay? It's there. So I don't know what he's going to say here. So here's your chance. Prove Laura lied. Should take you 2 seconds. I'll wait. I mean, yeah, people gave you the links. Anybody can go to the 2 documents and see image A and see image B from third-party companies. Archive sites, Wayback Machine, medium.com. These are third-party companies. Strange. Talked to Laura about this. She said she never posted that weird version of the belly image. Well, it's clearly on medium.com with her name in the byline. I don't know what to tell you, man. This is very strange. Honestly, given how clearly helpful the first version is, helpful for what? Why do you think she would make minor edits to the second version? This is what he does. He speculates. He says, if something is true or if something is not true, why would anybody do this other thing? Or wouldn't someone do this other thing? He just speculates. I don't care about what someone could have done or would have done or should have done. I care about what people did. I care about what's there that we can see, that we can test. Okay? I can take the links for the blog and for the court document, and I can go into the Wayback Machine and find the version with the photo B, and I can find the court filing with file A, and I can look at them. It's just how it is. It doesn't matter why somebody would do it. I don't care why somebody would or wouldn't do it. It's there. You can go look at it. That's just silly. The first version makes the point completely. What point? That she had a large belly at a certain point in time? Lots of people have large bellies at a certain point in time. It doesn't mean they're pregnant. It's very strange. This is very strange, guys. Let's keep going because there are a lot of comments. Rosalind Duke just can't take it anymore and is banging her head on the desk. Just Jen says, has the moving the goalposts gif. Oh dear. Megan Fox says, the question is not why would she, but why did she? Yeah, exactly. I don't care why people would do something or could do something or should do something. I want to know why something is. If there's a photo B in the Wayback Machine, why is it there? Can you answer that? If there's a photo in your court filing, photo A, do you agree that's legit? Like, it's there. We can see it. Like, he really needs to focus his investigative skills on his client. She needs help. Help her, David. I agree. Mess says, helping her wouldn't give him any attention, though. Maybe. Not Greg says, why would he believe actual evidence when he can just believe a liar who has zero credibility? Yeah, trust is hard to earn, easy to lose. He would have to admit that he's wrong, which he will never do. Just like his lying client. Well, I don't know. I mean, he could admit he was wrong. We could all do that. We'll see. Now, Greg says, I do wonder how many ethical notices of candor he's going to have to file once they inevitably turn on each other. The number is limitless. Oh, dear. Well, we'll see how it goes. Everybody's entitled to representation. See you next Tuesday, Muffin Esquire says, hashtag lying liar who lies. Law Nerd Trish says, the internet is forever. He won't answer you. We got a comment on this one, too. Sarah Adams, BS Psychology, AAFS, and BX. Oh, geez. Sarah Adams here with the deep CV. Says, hashtag imaginary twins, hashtag horse jumping. Annette Fun says, he is as gullible as my mom used to be when she'd find cigarettes in my coat pocket. But Mom, I'm just holding them for Maria. Laura, did you post that photo? 1,000,000% BS. Oh, okay, thanks. Yeah, it's weird. He's sort of just taking her word for it, I guess, when he could just go to the web archive site and look at the picture. Um, I heard maybe one of those sites was down yesterday, but this was October 9th. It's October 12th now. Seems like plenty of time to go check all this out. I did, because I wanted to see for myself. I didn't want to just trust other people's posts. I wanted to look into it and see these pictures for myself, and I did. Very strange. I don't know why he didn't. Or he did, and he just thinks it's, I don't know. He thinks there's hackers hacking the Wayback Machine or something. I don't know. Flux says, dumbass. I'm sensing a pattern from Flux. Lawrence says, agreed, worst lawyer ever. Oh, dear. These are some opinions. Chase Stone says, your obsession with Dave is really unsettling. I agree. And no, David, journalists talking about a case is not the same thing. Okay. Nick Vial's ego parody account says, but you said she never posted it, and clearly she lied to you. So aren't you dropping her as a client? Yeah, he said he would drop her as a client if she lied to him. Nick Vial's ego finally has a point. Let's see. Sarah Adams with the long CV says, I think you have a huge man crush. A huge man crush or a huge man crush? This is why parentheses are important when you're writing software, kids. You have a huge man crush on Dave. Obsessed, don't you think? Well, I mean, I think so, but obsessed can be subjective, I suppose. He's just not that into you. It's probably true. All the best, XX. Bob Sacamano says, okay, where's the big reveal? Yeah, he said he had the evidence and he's just not going to give it to us. Actually, extremely curious to hear how JFC controls her blog. Yeah, Medium is not under the control of anybody but the person posting with their own byline. The Wayback Machine is not under anybody's control. The court filings are not under anybody's control except the person making the filing. I'm guessing this 1,000% ironclad proof is she said she was hacked. Maybe, we don't know. This thing in this case where there's always like 1,000%. Like, guys, 100%. Okay, I have a whole pen, an entire pen. I have 100% of my pen. It's right here, 100%. 1,000% would be like 10 pens. 10 times 100. So if I had a pack of 10 pens, I would have 1,000% of a pen because I have 10 pens. When we're talking about like, I have proof or I don't have proof, I believe someone or I don't believe someone, these are binary things. Like, it's either true or it's not true. I believe you, I don't believe you. You can maybe get into a case where you have three things like, I believe you, I don't believe you, or I just don't know. I don't know enough. I can't decide. But that's not 1,000%. 1,000% means like 10 objects, not like you can't have 10 I think you're trues. Like, I think you're true 10 times. Like, it doesn't mean anything. Guys, it's crazy. But this happens over and over again in this case. Which is why he's saying this. He's saying this to make fun of that. KH says, is anybody keeping track of how many times we've heard there's evidence, but we're not showing you? Well, my count is up to 1 because we're talking about this post. So we're up at 1, at least for this episode. Robert Taylor, in all seriousness, please stop threatening to sue everyone. It's been a year of you threatening to sue. Dave didn't post the side-by-side photos. You and Laura did. Dave only did a commentary video after posters showed metadata proof the photos were false. Well, I don't know about metadata proof the photos were false. I think we've just seen, you can go, there's a methodology, right? You can go get the court document. There's photo A in that. You can go to medium.com, get the URL of the blog, put it in the Wayback Machine, and see photo B in the earlier version of that document. That's where we are. Robert says, And I write this as someone with a degree in journalism who has 5 close relatives who are lawyers, 2 of whom work for the ACLU. Okay. Robert is coming in hot. He's getting into the case. We need some more commentary, Robert. And as a First Amendment attorney, you know that suing someone over giving an opinion that 2 photos you posted from a secondary source were altered has a snowball's chance in hell of even making it to oral arguments. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, people are just saying, hey, I can go to this website and get this document. I can go to this website and see the picture here. I think for defamation, you have to prove that there's some sort of lie. And then you have to prove that the person knew it was a lie. That's pretty tough. Even if you prove something's false, you have to prove that they knew it was true or vice versa, which can be tough. And then you have to prove some sort of financial loss, which, if people are just downloading court documents and looking at medium.com in the Wayback Machine, I don't know how you're going to get financial loss from that. It's very strange to me. So I agree with Robert here. Robert seems to have a lot of connections and experience, so maybe we'll hear more from Robert in the future. David says, I appreciate the comments, but I just talked to Laura and she agrees it's time to move this debate off X. Why did you start it? Oh, sir, and put it where it belongs, in court before a jury. I mean, what good would that do? Somebody can just say, hey, look, here's a court document with photo A, here's a Wayback Machine with photo B, and the jury will be like, yeah. So what? I need to wrap up this other thing, motion to dismiss in another case. I'm sure he wants to get his other case dismissed. That's not surprising at all. But after that, I'll get to work on this. Very good. And then he's got a Mark Twain quote here. It ain't what you don't know that gets you into trouble. Well, I mean, if you don't know what the speeding limit is and you speed, you can still get a speeding ticket. So I don't know if I agree with this first sentence, because what you don't know, the speed limit, can still get you into trouble. It's what you know for sure that just ain't so. Well, here's the problem. If you say, okay, I know that there's, I don't know, I know that there's something, a lawnmower in my garage. And Mark, if I say that, there's a lawnmower in my garage, and Mark comes along and Mark says, there's no lawnmower in your garage. And he could be right. That just means, maybe somebody borrowed my lawnmower. Maybe, the kid is out mowing the lawn and it's not in the garage right now, so I'm wrong. In order for me to understand why I'm wrong, I need new evidence. Mark would have to explain to me, you're wrong because I borrowed your lawnmower and didn't give it back. You're wrong because your kid's out mowing the lawn right now and your lawnmower is not in your garage. So it's reasonable to say, like, well, my lawnmower used to be in my garage. Like, it's perfectly reasonable. And you could be wrong. And you just need to gather more evidence to have a better understanding of what's going on. And why is that going to get you into trouble? Getting more information, getting more evidence, becoming more educated. These are not bad things. These are good things. So if somebody is wrong, David, and you think you know they're wrong, help them see the evidence so that they can understand why they're wrong. And this is a thread in which you haven't done that. You start out by saying, y'all are wrong, and I have the evidence, but I'm not going to give it to you. This is not helpful. This doesn't help people. This doesn't help us get on the same page. It doesn't help us communicate in a civil way. David, your communication style, you need to be better. That you just need to work on it. If you're perfectly cordial on the phone or in person, but not in writing on the internet, you need to figure out how to be better. That's all there is to it. All right, let's move on. Oh, that was a good Robert thread. Camilla says, I'm a photo editor. Please use me before submitting anything to court. Her pics have been too obviously messed with when you zoom in. I'll help my girl out for free. This is very nice. Laura needs to clear her name so she can take more dads to court. Oh no. Camilla. A little mischievous. I believe she has the power to bring Jesus back. Oh wait. Camilla, what happened to Jessica? Was it Jessica? Jesus and Jessica? Why are we, this is a little sexist. We're just, we're having twins. Catley Ballerina has the golf clap from Leo. Oxford comma split infinitive says, not sure what you think has been published with actual knowledge of falsity or reckless disregard for the truth. Exactly. Exactly. If someone is wrong, they're doing the best with the information they have in general. Okay. And the way to help them along is to teach them, to give them new evidence, to teach them new methodologies that they can use to find the evidence and get on the same page. Your Ipsy Dixit doesn't move the needle. Your what? Guys, what is an Ipsy Dixit? Is that like a skibbity toilet? Somebody in the comments needs to explain this to me. I don't know what that is. I'm not going to Google it right now. Maybe I'll do it later. Of course, the press need not accept denials, however vehement. Such denials are so commonplace in the world of polemical change and counter-change that in themselves they hardly alert the conscientious reporter to the likelihood of error. Interesting. Okay. Very nice. Picky B says, I'm sure 2 counts of perjuries can really be a good thing for your client. Can be a good thing for your client? Maybe. Oxford comma split infinitive says, maybe debates on X would help if you'd actually give the proof. Question mark, question mark. I agree. Give proof a chance. Sounds good to me. Sarah Dawn says, I am praying Laura gets her jury trial. It would be hilarious. Fingers crossed. Well, you know, these trials, some of these trials, there can be entertaining moments. There can be moments of levity. There can be salacious details that can be entertaining, like a soap opera or something like that. And, you know, I think the important thing for having the court system be transparent is that so we can see how the court system works in action in real time. We can see, for example, you know, if a judge is approving or denying motions, if there are objections that are sustained or overruled, why are these things happening? We can get a better sense of how these things work. We can see the court system play out in real time. And we can have a sense that justice will be there for us if we need it in court. And I think that's why it's good that the court system is open. Now, whether or not it's a good idea for this paternity case or issues arising from this paternity case to play out in court with a jury would be good for Laura, I don't really think so. If you go back, I was just painting my shed and I was watching boss attorney Bree review the June 10th hearing just to have something to listen to while I was painting. And it was tough for her to be on the stand under direct and especially under cross-examination. I don't know that they would want to do that or why they would want to do that. That seems like a lot to put yourself through. In any case, Several Roaches says that could be a money pit for the plaintiff. That too, going to court all the time must be expensive, unless you are very confident you can win. Alternatively, you can simply present your proof here or just say, look, take the L. I didn't have enough evidence to prove clinical pregnancy. I didn't have enough evidence to prove paternity. We racked up court bills. I'll pay the bill and move on with your life. That would be a reasonable solution here. I don't know why they're not taking that approach. Assuming the content creators have homeowners or business insurance to rely on, which typically covers defamation cases, defense. Maybe. I don't know. Laundered Trish says, specifically, which lie are you talking about? The one where she said she didn't post it or something else? Yeah, I'm not sure. We may be nitpicking over things like edited a photo or posted a photo or uploaded a photo. And I'm not really interested in nitpicking all these verbs. I'm just saying there's a photo A in a court document. There's a photo B in the Wayback Machine for Medium with her name in the byline. Can someone explain it? And in any case, it doesn't matter because a large stomach doesn't prove pregnancy. So it's just a sort of side argument that's going on. Prunella says a potential compromise. Don't debate this issue on X or in front of a jury. Rather, hold a press conference to present the proof and otherwise make your case. Interesting. I hear Four Seasons Total Landscaping is an excellent setting for such events. I don't know if there's a Four Seasons Total Landscaping in Arizona. Does Arizona even have Four Seasons? I don't. Oh, geez. I think Arizona is just like continuously hot. It's just either sort of nicely hot or unbearably hot. There's maybe two seasons. I don't know. A press conference is interesting. I don't know. I would watch that. Maybe they could get Bianca Buono to ask questions at the press conference. That would be amazing. I would definitely want to watch that. Alyssa, the Chronic Crafter, says, David, do you really think debating on X would help? Threatening to take people to court for reporting news makes me think all this open to discuss was just baiting those in defense of Clayton and the truth. Also highly unprofessional. Interesting opinion. No reply. B. Fuller says, as an IT professional, the only way to prove this is to go to Medium and get their logs. Laura can't prove it on her own. We will need the court to request the logs. Oh, is this like the idea is we've been hacked? Yeah. I mean, if someone is going to claim that they've been hacked, I feel like the bar for that in terms of what proof I need to see before I will believe a claim that someone was hacked in this court case is very high. So I think that's what they're talking about there. Alyssa, the Chronic Crafter, says, David, as someone who has lost many pregnancies from 8 to 24 weeks, I am well aware of what happens to the fetus when lost. I'm sorry to hear that, Alyssa. My belly was similar size to Laura's, and I would have loved to have my daughter just reabsorb into my body. Yeah, I think beyond a certain point, it becomes impossible for a fetus to be reabsorbed into the body. And also, if there was some material that was the result of this miscarriage, was it analyzed by an OBGYN or a pathologist? And where's that report? We have no evidence of any of that. Also, my understanding is if you were pregnant, you would still have that fetal DNA floating around, and the Ravgen tests could have detected that, and they didn't. So to me, that's very suspicious. Alyssa says, but painfully, I had to be induced and go through labor and birth her. Earlier losses, I needed a D&C. Yeah, if you're going to have these miscarriages, there's typically going to be some sort of record, right? Which we haven't seen. For the sake of healthy debate on X, why did Laura not seek continued care of her pregnancy before she lost the precious babies? It's a good question. Alyssa continues, with a high-risk pregnancy, especially twins, a physician should have requested close follow-up of the pregnancy, maybe instead of threatening reporters and keyboard warriors with court action. The incompetent physicians should be your target. Well, if Laura went to a physician and said, hey, I would like an ultrasound, and they refused or something like that, or if they did something negligent, then we could talk about a physician being negligent. But I think the problem here is that there was no consistent OBGYN care sought in the first place. There were no consistent ultrasound records taken over time from the petitioner. There were no fetal heartbeat monitors done. So the problem isn't that care was sought and it was denied. The problem is care was never sought in the first place to a sufficient level for the claims that are being made in court. That's how I see it. Okay. Gosh, where were we? We were on Alyssa's comment. Picky B says, do it. CM Law says you'll be suborning perjury. I don't know if that's the right word. Again, Twitter makes it hard to edit typos, right? Twitter really needs like a really, really good autocorrect feature, or they need to let you edit your typos. Princess Forever says, shouldn't you be suing the facility that treated Laura following her miscarriage? Her 6-month-old unborn twins' death certificates would mitigate any doubt regarding the accuracy of her claims and the corresponding timeline. I mean, yeah, if these twins were miscarried beyond a certain date, you would need a fetal death certificate beyond that date. And we don't have that here. I guess you could say, hey, if that did happen, there was a miscarriage beyond that particular date, and the medical facility failed to give you the requisite fetal death certificates, then you would have a case against them. But nobody's made that claim in this case yet. But it's an interesting thought experiment. Tanya Twinklestar says, I'd really love to see proof. I won't share it with anyone, and I'll personally apologize to you both. Would you send it to me, please? Jeez, Tanya, trying to keep all the evidence to yourself? Come on. Give me a break. Send it to me too. Karen says, really, the evidence will show, Your Honor, that although this client perjured herself over and over, she did in fact post that photo on her Medium article. I mean, it wasn't her. We don't know. And here's the thing, petitioner in this case could have lied 10 times. It doesn't mean the 11th thing she said is wrong. The 11th thing could be true. We just don't know because he won't present his evidence. Carly J says, good Lord, are you really this desperate for clients? Move on with your life. She is nuts and you're not much better. Well, we don't have to be rude. Let's see. Clout Trout Goblin says, no one believes her and we have all lost faith in you. Not only has she lied for attention, but you continue to lie for her and continue to double down that we are all wrong. You have both proven yourselves to be liars. This is just a hot take. I don't know. This just isn't doing anything for me. But people want to see, this just goes to show these people up here, they're getting upset because they want to see the evidence. They want to understand. It's not that they just believe you're wrong and will never not believe you're wrong. They're upset because they want to see the evidence. They want resolution. They want to get on the same page. Okay? See you next Tuesday. Muffin Esquire says, you do know the truth is an absolute defense to litigation. Archive.com is genuine. It archives the original website. Yeah, and archive.com and medium.com, these are third-party websites. There's no control of them by anybody, by some other random person in the audience. It archives the original website and then will show you edits made throughout time. Dave isn't the one who has credibility issues. That would be Laura. Interesting point. And then Maggie says, and David, his credibility is out the window with his wish-washy posts. Yeah, because he tends to do these rhetorical statements or these hypothetical statements. We just want to see the evidence. Just put the evidence in your court filings. You are a petitioner's attorney. Just put the evidence in your court filings and explain it. And everything will be fine. And if there was some evidence that didn't make it into the court filings, then go ahead and put it on Twitter. It'll be fine. That's all anybody's asking for here. Let's see. I think there is sober DG and non-sober DG debates himself and neither one knows the truth. Well, there was, what was it, last weekend? He was drinking lemon drops. Look, I don't care if the guy drinks 20 lemon drops. As long as he does a good job putting the evidence for his client's case in his filings. That's all. And for this case, in order to prove pregnancy and or paternity, I haven't seen sufficient evidence. And I can explain why I don't think the evidence is sufficient. So that's what he's got to deal with. I don't know. Okay, let's keep going. We've got a few minutes left. I can read a few more comments. Okay. Where were we here, guys? Where did I get to? We did read this. We read we read these. Yeah. Marissa Dirk says, at what point do you start questioning Laura's words and her supposed facts and proof? It's unbelievable she can continue to wiggle her way out of her lies and you can't see the truth. Well, he doesn't need to see the truth. He needs to represent his client. But he should do that with professionalism, which I think, my main thing would be, I understand he's trying to be her lawyer and do PR. I don't think you should do both. If you want a PR person, hire a PR person. If you want a lawyer, hire a lawyer. Don't have one person do both jobs. It seems like a conflict of interest. It's unbelievable she can continue to wiggle her way out of her lies and you can't see the truth. How are the videos not proof she did lie? Yeah, there's multiple court hearing videos where she has contradictory testimony. these things have happened. Mess says that point is when the Owens family's checks stop clearing. I mean, maybe. I mean, why would somebody be someone's lawyer for free? Why would, I don't know. If they're really invested in the cause, perhaps. The other thing is we haven't seen his cost breakdown docket. In the court filings, we've seen the respondents' court costs broken down, but we haven't seen the plaintiffs' or the petitioner's court costs broken down. So we don't know. Maybe he's getting paid. Maybe he's not getting paid. Maybe he's getting paid for some of it, but not some other part. We just don't know. Dose Reality says you're the worst lawyer in the world then, because if you had acceptable medical proof that the photo shows Laura was actually pregnant as she claimed, you should have presented it. I guess. I don't think photos of bellies can prove pregnancy, though. I think all we're talking about here is like, hey, was this modified photo put on Medium or not? It certainly looks like it was. Oh gosh. I don't know why they put so much real comments in the probable spam section. I mean, it's not like these guys are like 20% off coupons on diet pills or something. Savannah Whitehurst says it's absolutely hilarious that you genuinely think any litigation or jury trial would ever result in a win for your client. And you always obfuscate when you've been found in the wrong. I mean, the thing I noticed is like he's very selective about what comments he replies to. I'm not sure if that's obfuscation or just he's being selective. It's maybe a little disingenuous. You cannot disprove archive links. Anyone can see for themselves she lied. Yeah, you can go look at these photos yourself. Savannah Whitehurst says, don't you dare threaten Dave. He's done nothing wrong, and your treatment of him is unforgivable. I agree. Quite frankly, Dave has more fans than Clayton ever had. Well, I don't know who has more fans, and I don't know what that has to do with anything. We will have his back to the nth degree. There are certainly, both Dave and Clayton have friends and family that will support them. I don't think it has anything to do with how many fans they have. Hell, maybe we'll make an actual cult for Dave's defense. I understand this is a joke. Don't make a cult. Real, legitimate cults are dangerous. Do not get involved with a legitimate cult. Okay, Charlotte says, if you want to prove your case, why not obtain and produce the elusive Planned Parenthood sonogram? This is a good question. That's what's needed to prove pregnancy, and Laura testified that it exists. The rest of this is noise and distraction. This is a good question from Charlotte. The thing I would add is that even if they could find this elusive Los Angeles Planned Parenthood that was open on a Sunday and did this sonogram under a fake name, and again, this is all dubious. I mean, it's Planned Parenthood. It's not Planned Parenthood Anonymous. Even if we could do all that, and the provider at the LA Planned Parenthood sent a sonogram to Greg Woodnick, that would potentially prove pregnancy, but it wouldn't prove paternity. And in this case, we need both. We can't just have one. So we'd only be halfway there. Total Annihilation says, hi, David. How do you explain the archived links of her article? That is not something anyone can fake. The edited photo was on her article. Crass and inappropriate threats towards Dave Neal are not a substitute for evidence and explanation. Good point. You say you have the goods. Where is it? Yeah, and this was October 9th. This was 3 days ago. No reply. It's a good question. Hoodoo says, a free speech lawyer threatens a journalist for covering a story? Hypocritical. Any person that threatens to make a new parent in their family homeless? Disgusting. David, your behavior is disgusting. Well, apparently it's hypocritical and disgusting. Okay. Total Annihilation says, hey, David, we're still... Oh, this is October 10th, so it's a day later. Hey, David, we're still waiting on the proof you claim to have. Also, you previously stated Laura denied ever posting the alternate photo that appeared edited. Now you say you have proof she didn't edit it. So did she not post it, or did she post it but not edit it? Yeah, these are important details. Words matter. Editing and posting, these are not the same thing. In general, I'm not really concerned about the semantics of the editing or the posting. It's more that there is this photo B on that page with her name in the byline. So if you just sort of casually say it's her photo, that's fine. Even if her internet intern, Anton, was the one who's posted it under her name. Like, I don't care about that. We'll see. We'll see. All right. What else do we got, guys? We don't have much time left. I may not go on to the next post because I don't think we're going to have enough time. Okay. So we read the Good Idea Ready Dave, 35 comments. Lots of comments on this one. The next one we're going to get to in episode 4, we're going to pick up. We're going to go over this case management statement that was filed, and that'll be interesting. That's what we're going to do. All right, guys, we're catching up. And this is Bruce from Oregon, Bruce the Moose with the Bruce from Oregon Show. We're reading through David's tweets and the comments and talking about it, having commentary, analyzing it, talking about logic, talking about reason. Oh, talking about the court case. And that's what we're doing. I will see you on the next episode. Everybody take care and thanks for your time.